Welcome back, everybody. My name is APrater54, aka Adam, coach of McChesney Park Slowpokes, and today I bring you my draft analysis for Season 5 of Battle Hub Draft League. I was one of the co-founders of this league. I helped Beardo set this up. Scorpion now runs it for them, and I'm excited to be back. I believe I didn't play the last 2 seasons in a row, but what made me want to come back and play was not only they invited me, but the fact that it is going to be Uber singles. So this is going to be a new stepping stone for this developmental server. So we are going to see what the coaches can do with Ubers as well as myself as I test a few of them. My goal is not to it'd be nice to win the championship here, but just to have fun. But this season, it's 135 points for 9 to 11 Mons, 12th overall pick, and we are allowed 26 points for 2 Terra Captains. They have a tax on them, so you can exceed 26, but you have to have 1 to 2. The way the Ubers work is similar to how BBL did theirs. You can have 1 platinum, you can have a gold and a bronze, you can have a silver and a bronze, or you can have 2 silvers. So all in all, it's going to be interesting. Dire Claw, Relic Song, Effect 4, I believe don't break sleep clause in this league. But all the confusion moves, including Teeter Dance, Supersonic, Confuse Ray, Flatter, and Swagger are all banned, and they are following basic Smogon rules. I have to see if Muddy Water and Night Days are also banned as well, because it just says Evasion Clause, but I assume that is in there. Oh, man. I wish this would have healed in time. This is what happens when you bust open your face, guys. If you're wondering what that red mark is on my face, it's when yeah. Be careful out there, guys. It's been like that for a few weeks. People are probably going to watch this and probably wonder what's going on with that. But 12th overall came to me, and I decided I want Magirna for 24 points. This is a silver Uber. Fun fact. It got 2 slight buffs this gen. It gained Ice Spinner and it gained Spikes, which is incredibly good. It didn't have it in previous gens, which is amazing. This still has access to Agility, Shift Gear, now has Ice Spinner, so you can run a Shift Gear physical set for dragons or flying type moves and hit them with Ice Spinner. You can shatter your own terrain. You can shatter your opponent's terrain, which is massive, especially against electric terrain. All in all, that's incredibly good. This thing is incredibly fat, being a fairy and a steel type. So just overall, that typing is only weak to ground and weak to fire, which is incredibly good. And you will see just soon enough how I planned around those weaknesses to enable this mon to pop off. If I get a Shift Gear off and a weakness policy with Soul Heart, it can auto end a game. This gets access to Trick Room. This gets access to Trick. This gets access to Calm Mind, Iron Defense. Don't think it got Body Press. That would be broken if it got that. But it does have Brick Break, Play Rough, Iron Head, which is incredibly good for a mon like this, especially if you want to run a physical variant of it with +3 attack. After Shift Gear and weakness policy, you can catch people off guard. But all in all, that is my first pick overall, and we will hop on into mon number 2. For mon number 2, it came back to me pretty quick. I decided I'm going to get a second Uber. I originally was going to get a bronze Uber, but I realized I could have 2 silvers. So I got Palkia. This is a ×4 fire resist, which is absolutely perfect for Magirna. And Magirna can swap into the fairy type moves that this is weak against. which is incredibly good, and a dragon immunity in Magearna. So the synergy is there. I have my Fairy Dragon Steel Core in 2 mons, which is normally something I don't do out the gate. But this thing's monstrous 120 special attack stat, 100 speed, and 100 attack stat, as well as relatively good bulk. I believe it's base 100 and 90 in its defenses, is incredibly fat. This thing can tank hits. It can be physical or special. Hydro Palm gets access to Spatial Ren, gets access to Focus Blast. Aura Spear gets access to Thunder Bolts, and I believe Flamethrower as well, and Earth Power. I'd have to double check Flamethrower though. But this thing's only setup move is bulk up this gen, which it gained. I'll take it. I can run a physical variant, beef my defenses, tank a play rough. I'll take it. Especially in this format where a lot of the Ubers are physical, setting a bulk up in front of them is incredibly massive. But there are some drawbacks with this. This is neutral to a lot of other typings. So like grass, to fighting, to oh yeah, it's a steel resist, which is also good for Magearna, which is neutral to that. But all in all, I look forward to seeing what Palkia can do for 24 points, and hopefully I can pop off with it. Next, for Mon number 3, Rongo Bongo is back. This is what I said of how I will nerf my ground weakness. So this forces them to run Earth Power, Stomping Tantrum, Scorching Sands, weaker ground moves in general to hit Magearna, which allows it to have longevity, which is incredibly good. And cuts the damage in half of Earthquake Bulldoze, forces mons to run Dig, which is incredibly good as well. This gets access to Taunt, Knockoff, U-Turn, Acrobatics, gets access to Grassy Glide, Wood Hammer, High Horsepower back now after the DLC, which makes it incredibly worth the value of 16 to me. It is a little high, probably, but it was also higher to have it as a Terra Captain because there is a slight tax added to all the captains. Like, there were some mons that were 13 points that jumped up all the way to 21. Hell, a Spothra jumped up to 20 points just to have Terra, and it's originally 11, I believe, which is insane. I did consider Spothra, though, as a Terra Captain, but I decided, nah, I don't want one strong captain and one incredibly weak one. But all in all, Rillaboom well worth the 16 points, especially for Fake Out. I can stall out Trick Room turns. Grassy Glide allows me to bash things that want to wall Magearna, like the Bulky Waters. Let's hammer them away with this. All in all, I just wish they could have gave this a rock type move, because it really struggles against flying types, which is why I lead into my next mon and my first Terra Captain in Hisuian Arcanine. And the way Terra works in this format is Arcanine was originally 12 points. For Terra, it was 14. But this is open Terra, but I have to disclose my Terras to my opponent. So this is my first of 2 Terra Captains. Having access to Head Smash this gen is absolutely massive, especially with this mon. That and gaining access to Stealth Rocks, I'll take it. Access to Flash Fire, access to Intimidate for the matchups I need it, is incredibly good. And I pay for ad-free on my YouTube, and I still get ads. I don't know why. I think if it's music, it still gives you ads, but if it's anime, it doesn't do it. It's so weird. So if you see me like look down, pause away, I'm trying to skip an ad, not to torture you guys, because I also do not want a copyright from an ad playing too long. But Arcanine, Head Smash, Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Close Combat, Bulldoze. extreme speed was the selling point of this. Terra normal banded E-speed hammers so much things in this format. I'll take it. That and the ghost types that want to resist me. Alright. Flare Blitz. Rockhead. Sorry, Head Smash. Let's play a little game. Being able to flash fire from a Girna is absolutely amazing. Turn into a bulky water type flash fire or a grass type and force my opponent to have coverage to deal with me, which they're going to want to deal with Palkia and Magearna, so they're going to not expect a bulky water type from this thing, which is absolutely amazing, or a grass type to just absorb the fire move, and now you got a Flare Blitz smacking you in the face. All in all, well worth the 14 points, and I want to see what I can do with this thing as a Terra Captain. Pretty decent with it with outside of Terra, but let's see what I can do with Terra. Next, for 16 points, I kind of had to. I didn't learn my lesson for BBR Scramble, but at least this time around, I'll actually be able to, like, do good with it now that I have not so many tryhards just trying to wall me. This thing is incredibly good because half of the Ubers are steel or ice types mixed with dragon. So now we have close combat with Unburden, we have Hip Pocket, and we have Poison Touch. Poison Touch is amazing. And I believe we did not ban... I believe Dire Claw does not break Sleep Claws in this. 1 second. I will confirm that. Rules. Okay, a Dire Claw spam is not against the rules. If I roll Sleep multiple turns in a row, it happens. So that is another selling point for having this mod. It cannot Terra, but it is well worth the 16 points. Late game speed control, especially with mods like Kirim White around, Kirim Black around, setting up DDs in your face and scale shots. Bam, in comes this. Now you can hammer him with the CC and say goodbye. This gets access to Rock Slide for mons like Ho-Ho, gets access to Fire Punch for mons like Scizor. Just gotta be careful and not have it die to every random Psychic type move in the game. Yes, I have used this in the past and got caught by a mon I did not know had Psybeam. Yeah. Let's not let that happen. This is also very good with the grassy terrain as well. This synergy is very good on the team. But all in all, Sneasler, base 120 speed, 130 attack, just smashing into things. It's absolutely amazing. Next, we will hop on into the second Terra Captain. For 11 points, now 12 for Terra, is Mandibuzz. I wanted to have fun. I'm sorry. My defogger being a Terra Captain is just hilarious. This baits in all the ice type moves like Kirim Black. Wanting to go off in front of me, I just switch into a steel type. Let's have fun. I'm weak armor. I'm now faster than you. I will nasty plot in your face and I will heat wave you back. Goodbye. Or just click Terra Steel and blow you back. The fact that this gets Nasty Plot, Weak Armor, gets access to Tailwind is amazing. Defog, Toxic, Knockoff, Taunt, Foul Play is incredibly good. U-Turn's very good. And access to Roost. All in all, very, very good. Big Pecs is a good ability. Overcloak's a good ability. Not being able to be like status or damaged by sand is very good in the long run, but I want to see just how much chaos I can cause with this mod, and I'm kind of actually excited to have it as a captain. If it doesn't do anything, it doesn't do anything, but if it pops off, you will see me just fucking cheering in videos. Next, we got Hisuian Zoroark. This is to see if you want to play the game. Am I the real Rillaboom? Am I the real Palkia? Am I the real Magearna? And see if you want to eat a Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, uh, Extra Sensory, I believe it gets to the face. This can also run Swords Dance Poltergeist with Shadow Sneak sets for the matchups I need physical, which is also incredibly valuable. That and just being able to have a fighting immunity and a ghost immunity is amazing. Oh, and also normal immunity. 3 immunities in 1 mon. Well worth the 12 points. Granted, I wish this was 12 points and still be a Terra Captain, but the tax for this was 2. So that's why we got Mandibuzz. And we're going to have a little fun and we're going to fuck around and find out. But Zoroark does a lot. This has access to Will-O-Wisp now. This has access to U-Turn. Gets Nasty Plot. Gets Trick. You name it. It gets most of the moves that regular Zoroark does, except it's beefy, boosted in its special attack stat, and slightly faster. I'll take it. This is base 110 speed, so it fits my speed tiers rather perfectly. And we are going to hop on to the next mon. Round number 8. We took Mamoswine. Let's have Thick Fat. Let's have Oblivious. Let's be immune to Intimidate. Let's be able to gain Trailblaze now. Again, access to loaded dice. So it can run sets like that. Can run Rock Blast, Knockoff, Heavy Slam. For some reason gets access to Hard Press if I need a one-hit KO a Fairy from full health. Gets access to Earthquake, Ice Shard, Icicle Spear. All in all, pretty good. Loaded dice set could pop off. And it has access to Curse again with the DLC. But it does not, I believe. Last gen it had Swords Dance. This gen it does not. All in all, that's fine. Because if I'm able to Curse and then spam Ice Shard, that's all I really need it for, to be bulky. Thick Fat is here for Ice type moves and Fire type moves. And potentially, if I can get a Trailblaze off and I can chew a Fire type move, we can pop off with a lot of damage because I do get high horsepower again, even in grassy terrain. Or I can set, Rain, bring this in, Trailblaze up, Weakness Policy up. Alright, what are you going to hit me with? I kill the things that kill me. We're going to fuck around and find out with Mamoswine and see if it's well worth the 11 points. This guy was 14 for Terra, and it made me sad, because if it was 12 for Terra, this guy would have been the Terra Captain over Mandibuzz. Alright. Next. I have 8 points left, and I need at least 1. Fortunately, I was going to do Vikavolt, but I chose to do Mamoswine first, so I missed out on that. So I gave up on webs completely. But instead I decided, let's get him on with only 1 weakness, and I already have grassy terrain. Empress for 3 points. Nerfing my weakness and being able to agility up and have the threat of, am I weakness policy, am I AV, am I just going to Volt Switch spam you or run static to just swap in, have you take damage, swap out, just paralyze your entire team is just kind of a little threatening to me. This gets access to Meteor Beam, Power Gem, gets access to Ice Punch, Jazz, and Gleam, Dragon Pulse, which is incredibly good for all the fairies and stuff running around. And I believe access to, I think he got Focus Blast. I'd have to double check. It gets fighting moves sometimes. It's either Brick Break or Focus Blast. I believe it's Focus Blast. Being able to land one of those on the Steel types this gen after just boosting my stats up is incredibly good. This even gets access to Cotton Guard, raising my defense by 2, Now you have the Turnley Healing from Grassy Terrain. I can run a double dance set. I just wish this thing got stored power. I'd be really cooking if it got that. But all in all, that's Ampharis, my annoyance, for 3 points. And last but not least, our final mon of the draft. And I learned something new every time I play this game. There's a move in particular. Oh well, I learned Magearna got Ice Spinner. And this got Toxic this gen. It got Toxic back. So this is Toxic and Will-O-Wisp. It does everything that Sableye does, but with coverage. And this gains Psychic Noise. So I can make mons like Comfey just be useless. Which is incredibly good. Stopping you from clicking Recover, clicking Synthesis, clicking Leech Seed, all of those moves, and clicking Drain Punch is just amazing with Psychic Noise. Access to Calm Mind now. Gets access to Poltergeist, Hornleech, Earthquake. Gets access to Trick Room itself. I can set Trick Room. See what your item is with Frisk. Set up a few screens. Or whatever I need it to do. Will-O-Wisp you down to where you're doing less damage to Magearna. And just buckle your team back. I have so much offense and so much support on this team. It's relatively good. And I can't complain with the end overall team. Tell me what you think down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And stay tuned for week number 1 as I get to find out who my opponent is. And you guys will get weekly uploads from here. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And enjoy. I will catch you guys later. Peace.